Joining me now is Einar Tangen. He's a political and economic affairs commentator. Great to see you and Happy New Year, Einar.
Thank you.
Well, Einar, there were a lot of eyes on the election leading up to this. How significant is this first meeting of the new Legislative Council after the international scrutiny of the election?
Well, it's extremely important. They needed to get their first foot out there in a correct fashion. Unfortunately, it was a little bit marred by a birthday party. A bunch of people from within the government, including legislators, attended. There were 20 who were not present at that time. So Beijing is going to be looking to Carrie Lam to put some stick about, make sure that these people understand that that is not acceptable. The people who make the laws are not exempt from them. But other than that, Hong Kong faces an interesting challenge. They have a tradition of kind of a raucous, a theatrical political scene. But now Beijing and their own people expect them to start addressing the problems rather than making skits.
So you point out the missing of this inaugural meeting by some of those lawmakers. The issue of COVID has been pretty big in Hong Kong lately, some questioning the handling of this pandemic. Hong Kong in the past has been pretty successful in keeping the numbers low, but is this simply a reflection of the evasiveness of the Omicron variant?
Well, yes, you can blame the Omicron variant, but that's like saying blaming a volcano. I mean, it is a fact, and government has to respond to it. Hong Kong has been successful, but there's this issue that people keep thinking that they want the pandemic to be over, but that's not how it works. The pandemic is over when it's over. And at this juncture, you have to take safety precautions, and that's what they're doing. There's a lot of restiveness, not only in Hong Kong, but around the world. But if you fail to listen to science, you're going to bear the consequences, as we have seen.
Carrie Lam also has plans to restructure the government. Explain some of the details. What exactly does this mean? What would that look like?
Well, she needs to reorganize the departments. There has to be more emphasis on planning and execution, less about, as I said, theatrics of pretending to do something, creating committees to study things. They actually need to, get this new city created, start alleviating a lot of the problems that led to the issues in Hong Kong, which were not really about democracy. It was about a lack of hope. People felt that there was no way they could work for 30 years and barely afford an apartment, and that's assuming they didn't eat. So it's a terrible situation. It needs to be addressed. Obviously, Hong Kong is part of China, and China expects Hong Kong to deliver the same kind of equality that they're delivering on the mainland.
And you're talking more about this northern metropolis along the border with Shenzhen. Tell us more about the bigger picture there. How long could that actually take to get there?
Well, it's a little bit different than the mainland. I mean, first off, Hong Kong has its own set of laws. There's private property, et cetera. So to the extent that there are private interests involved, that's going to take a little bit of time. But it should move fairly quickly and expeditiously. They need to make a bold first impression that they are in fact addressing the underlying issues that most Hong Kong people have. It's only by actually executing this, getting people into situations where they have jobs, where they have hope, where they have homes, that the Hong Kong government can show that it is capable of creating this kind of hybrid system somewhere between where the mainland lies and its traditions.
Einar Tangen, always great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Elaine.